all. I, Dr. Manisha Bhatt, on the behalf of EC Department, Govind Ballapant Institute of Engineering and Technology, would like to welcome you all for the second day morning session of this Atal Academy sponsored 1 week online FDP program on antenna design, fabrication and measurement. We are very fortunate to have eminent speaker with us for today's session, Professor Manoj Kumar Meshram sir. So before starting the session, let me briefly introduce him. So he holds his BE, ME and PhD degree in electronics engineering. He has joined Department of Electronics Engineering, IIT in July 2002, where he is working as a professor. He received INSA, Indian National Science Academy Fellowship 2008 to 9 from Government of India to visit South Korea under bilateral exchange program in which he joined Hanyang University, South Korea. Further, in the year 2010, he has been awarded with the Boycast Fellowship for 1 year for conducting advanced research at McMaster University, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Recently, in 2017, he has awarded INSA DFG Fellowship 2017 from German Research Foundation to carry out research activities in Germany under bilateral exchange program. His research interests include microwave and millimeter wave technology, metamaterial reconfigurable antennas, frequency scanning antenna for radar system, microstrip antenna, UWB antennas, MIMO antennas for handheld devices, tapered slot antenna, ferrites, MMIC, and microwave imaging. He has published about 100 papers in the referred international journals and conferences and 2 textbooks. He is in the reviewers list of several referred journals in India and abroad. He is expert member of the project review committee of DARE, Defense Avionic Research Establishment, DRDO India. He has successfully executed the project entitled Design and Development of Wideband Vivaldi Antenna Array for Airborne Application for the transfer of technology under the CARS scheme of DARE. And it has been processed for batch production of Bell Bangalore. He has founder and secretary of the society named Academic Society of Science, Engineering and Technology. He is also a founder and managing editor of the journal International Journal of Advancement of Microwave Technology. Dr. Meshram is a senior member of the IEEE, member of Indian Science Congress Association, life member of ISTE, and a life member of IETE. He is a recipient of Gandhian Young Technological Innovation Award 2015 and appreciated under the Technology Edge category during the Festival of Innovation on 8th March 2015 at Rashtrapati Bhavan. He received the Best Paper Award during the 87th session of Indian Science Congress Association in January 2000 at Pune University, Pune. So now I would like to hand over this session to Dr. Mishram sir to deliver his expert talk on the topic understanding of HFSS using hands-on.
Thank you, Dr. Manisha, for a nice I'm getting some noise from who is SP. Participating.
Participant, please keep it is my humble request and I have repeated a number of times, please keep your mic off during this session. Shilpi Patel, I am getting a noise from Shilpi Patel. The name which is showing, okay.
Okay.
So you can, okay.
Yeah. So good morning to everyone. I'm very much thankful to Dr. who has invited me to deliver an expert talk on this particular FDP sponsored by the Atal program. on their course like antenna design, fabrication and measurements. So once again, good morning to everyone. So now I would like to make this talk as a formal, or what we are expecting basically, is a formal talk or some interactive talk? Participants?
Sir, interactive talks.
Okay, so it would be better. So in between both sides, there would be conversations. Okay, so any participant voluntary can ask the question, and voluntary I can ask the questions, and voluntary any participant can answer my questions also. Okay, is okay?
Right, sir.
Okay, so I hope everyone having a HFSS. I didn't bother. So which version do I have? So maybe in your laptop or desktop, do you have the HFSS?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So all the participants this one. Okay, so before moving further, what is the full form of HFSS? I think everyone is knowing. I'm expecting.
High frequency simulation software.
High frequency simulation software. Okay.
High frequency
Structure simulator.
High frequency structure simulation software.
Structural simulator.
Okay. So basically there are, including me and organizer, there are about 62 participants. So we can expect almost 62 answers. Okay. कोई इधर से उधर कुछ करेगा, कोई simulation software बोलेगा. Okay. So what would be the correct one? High frequency.
This is high frequency structure simulator.
Structure simulator. Okay. So what do you mean by the high frequency?
In gigahertz range.
That is
In
start
gigahertz range.
Few megahertz to ample of gigahertz.
Okay. So why this frequency we are considering as high frequency? Any reason? Okay, think about it. Okay, yesterday I have seen the brochures and we have already gone through some basics of microchip antennas, some I think metamaterials and SIW, right? So my next question is, what is microwave? Or why microwave is called microwave? I think most of the participants, they have background of the microwave or antennas. Okay, the microwave background.
So due to its wavelength.
Size of faculty members.
Due to its wavelength size.
Its wavelength. What is the wavelength?
So wavelength is basically in the total distance in which the particular signal will going to complete one cycle.
No, just listen carefully my question.
Okay, sir.
Why microwave is called microwave?
The wavelength is in terms of micrometers, sir.
Just wavelengths. Everyone can note down in their notebook. One of the participants said wavelength in micrometer.
Wavelength is very small. That's right. Very tiny.
Okay, just note down in the notebook. Okay, this is a discussion part. Don't worry. We have enough time. Okay. So just brush up with basic fundamental, then we will move further. Okay. So one of the participants said wavelength of the microwave range is in micrometers. So please note down. Then, what is the frequency range of microwave?
Consider from 1 gigahertz. 1 gigahertz.
I just note down in your notebook. Some gigahertz means from starting frequency to end frequency.
1 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz.
Pardon?
3 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz.
1 gigahertz.
3 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. Okay.
So it's
300 megahertz.
300 to 3000 megahertz.
300 megahertz to 3000?
Megahertz. Normally we call it as micro.
3000 megahertz. 3000 megahertz means 3
Is
gigahertz.
Say about 3 gigahertz.
3 gigahertz.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Anyone else?
1 gigahertz.
300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz.
Yes, can you repeat, please?
1 gigahertz to
300
300
megahertz to 300 gigahertz.
1 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. थोड़ा सा और
So 300 gigahertz.
Yes, please.
300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz.
300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. Okay. और बढ़िया आगे जिसके जो मन में आ रहा है आंसर दीजिए, कोई इशू नहीं है. देयर विल बी नो इशू बिकॉज वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट द नंबर ऑफ आंसर्स इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ हेड्स. क्योंकि मैं भी कुछ बोलूंगा, दैट विल बी अनदर आंसर. प्रोफेसर गौतम विल स्पीक, ही विल बी अनदर आंसर. ओके, मींस योर ऑर्गेनाइजर एंड हिज पार्टिसिपेंट, so we can expect answer.
Sir, it's 1,000 gigahertz.
Pardon?
Sir, it's 1 gigahertz to 1,000 gigahertz.
1 gigahertz to 1000 gigahertz. Okay, very good. Please. Next.
Check on.
3 to 300 gigahertz.
3 to
300 gigahertz.
मुझे तो लगता है इतनी देर में कोई गूगल कर लेता. ऑनलाइन में गूगल से आंसर कर सकते हैं आप लोग.
Sir, 300 megahertz to 3000 megahertz.
ये
300 megahertz.
रिपीट हो गया ये आंसर. 300 megahertz to 1000 megahertz.
So it is basically 300 megahertz to, it is up to 30 gigahertz, because after 30 gigahertz we call it as a millimeter wave.
Okay.
300 megahertz to 40 gigahertz, sir.
300 megahertz to
40 gigahertz.
Okay. Okay. Now, initially we are considering whether it is 30 gigahertz or 40 gigahertz. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay. So consider whatever frequency would you like to consider, 30 megahertz or 100 megahertz, either doesn't matter. Okay. You just choose any frequency starting from 300 megahertz. आपने कहा ना 300 megahertz. Okay. Just note down your notebook. 300 megahertz is the lowest frequency. Okay. I am choosing the lower and highest frequency from your answers. Okay. Next higher frequency is 100 gigahertz. It is okay. Next frequency you can write down 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. Okay, noted. In both the cases, calculate the wavelength for lower frequency and the higher frequency. What is the wavelength for lower and high frequency in both the cases? It means 300 megahertz, 100 gigahertz, and 300 gigahertz. Okay. And also 30 gigahertz, you can calculate 30 gigahertz. Because normally nowadays we are saying more than 30 gigahertz, it is a millimeter wave.
100 centimeters to 10 centimeters, sir.
Okay, 100 centimeter to 10 centimeter. Where is the micrometer then? I didn't find any wavelength which belongs to the micrometer range within this frequency.
Yes, sir. If we want to represent the wavelength in centimeters, we have to talk about like 100, 99, like that. So instead of talking like that, we can represent in terms of millimeters.
Okay, you can represent a millimeter. I'm talking micrometer.
Micro means here is a mini, very small, teeny.
10
Wavelength is very
minus
small.
3 meter. Micrometer means 10 minus 3 meter. Again, you
Sir,
convert in centimeters to 10 minus 5 centimeters.
Yes, sir. Actually, microwave frequency band is ranges from 300 megahertz to 1000 gigahertz.
What's your name, please?
Nirmala, sir,
Nirmala, कहाँ से आप?
from Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, nice. Okay. So, then what is the range of millimeter wave?
It is from 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz.
Okay, 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. Now you can see the wavelength in 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. It is in millimeter.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right? So the nomenclature is given to 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. It is correct, millimeter wave.
Right, sir.
There will be no doubt, right? So my questions, I again come to my questions. Why microwave is called microwave? So some of the participants, they replied their wavelength lies in the micrometer range, but I didn't observe any wavelength of microwave in the micrometer range. It is in centimeter range.
So it is initially called as microwave, but exactly it is not related with the wavelength if we call.
So
But
why
millimeter
what
wave is
called?
correctly pronounced.
Question is that why it is called millimeter wave is called millimeter wave, but we never call centimeter wave. Why? We can correct the okay.
These
Once
are
it is
called micro.
strongly announced it okay micro initially called micro, then we can correct now.
So these are called microwaves because these are very smaller in length in comparison to what we use in normal broadcasting.
Okay.
Wavelength is very small, so
Wavelength is
because of
very
that
very
it's called as
in-
microwave.
While we compare it with normal broadcasting.
ओके थोड़ा थोड़ा सा आप लोग वी आर वेरी क्लोज नाउ ओके so think about it again. Okay, so during the sessions in between sometimes the discussion session we will discuss again why microwave is called microwave. Okay, so I'm just giving the hint. You guys are very close to the answer right now. Okay, it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just hold on. So now you guys having the
Because wavelength in micron, sir.
wavelength in micron means where is the
Centimeters, sir. Sorry.
micron means what? We already discussed. We never find out wavelength in micron. This means micrometer.
Yes, sir.
So where is the wavelength? We don't use the micrometer wavelength. We have wavelength in centimeter range only. Okay, so we will discuss later. Okay. So now you just everyone having the HFSS. Which version do we have?
2019, sir.
2019. Okay, so on your desktop there would be an icon named ANSYS Electronics. Might be.
Sir, I have 2015.
15 version, sir.
Okay, no issue. Whatever we have. Okay, so open this ANSYS 2019 onward. They can click the icon ANSYS Electronics on their desktop. Okay, and rest of the guys they can click the HFSS. Okay, and open it. There will be no PPT presentations. We will discuss one by one. My screen is visible?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
It's loading,
No, sir.
Yeah, it's loading. Still visible or not visible?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. It's
Yes, sir.
Now it is visible to everyone because I can
Yes.
see on my laptop also. It is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
in my desktop, I have 2019 R3. Okay. But maybe on your, some guys having the 2015s, 16, 17, 18, 19, whatever you have. Okay. So don't worry about the version. Okay. We will discuss the basics of HFSS. Okay. So first, before basically the front panel, so we can see the front panel of the HFSS. That means you can see we are just running the exe file and screen before you. Okay. So what is going behind the software? That would be very important. It is correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Basically, what you guys are doing or you did or maybe your research scholar are doing, sometimes you are drawing some structures and giving some excitement, okay, field excitement, boundary conditions, and running, and you are getting some results and saying, okay, I got the results, similar kind of thing. But you don't want to see what is happening behind the software, what is happening inside the software, means backside. Front end is okay, you can see the front end section. Okay, so basically the HFSS means high frequency structure simulators works on which numerical technique?
Finite element.
Finite element method. Okay. So finite element methods. So nowadays we can say initially it was finite element method, but nowadays we can choose the hybrid techniques in the HFSS. You can select if you need method of moment, if you need FEM, if you need FIT, as per your requirement, you can select the numerical technique to solve your problem. Okay, it's clear? So why we are looking for numerical techniques?
Sir, actually, the structure what we build in the software are complex in nature, and performing using a MOM, that simple integration won't lead us to the required current and voltage values. And if we go for the other structures like tetrahedral structures and considering the fields as a unknown quantities and get our required parameters for a design structure, we can go for this FEM or the FTDD and so on.
Okay, how many types of analytical techniques do you know? There are numerical techniques and analytical techniques. In our undergraduate course, we read the mathematics very well. Okay. So my question related to that mathematics course. So how many types of numerical techniques, sorry, no, forget about numerical, analytical technique do you know? Yes, anyone can answer.
FEM method, sir. MOM method.
These
FEM.
are the numerical. These are numerical technique, not analytical one.
Okay.
These are numerical methods, numerical techniques. Analytic. Analytic method means जिसमें आपने पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशंस को लेके सॉल्व किया है. रिमेंबर, लाप्लास इक्वेशन हो गया, हीट इक्वेशन हो गया, डिफ्यूजन इक्वेशन हो गया, वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ पार्शियल इक्वेशन, डिफरेंशियल पार्शियल इक्वेशन से you have solved in your undergraduate course. Okay, remember or forget? Just remember.
So these are like
second order differential equations. because you can see your Maxwell equations in the differential form and also in the integral form. Okay, so you guys are solving in differential as well integral numerical techniques. Okay, so there will be some, obviously there will be some limitations in the partial differential equations. That's why we move to this numerical techniques. Okay, otherwise we don't have any issue with the partial differential equations. So one method, the very beginning you read, is the separable of variable, a variable of separable. Remember analytical methods?
Yes, sir.
Remember na? उसमें क्या करते थे? What you did in this method? You are just separating the variables and separable and writing the equation, whatever differential equation which is given to you, you are converting that differential equation in the product form. Remember? X, which is a function of dx, y is a function of dy, z is a function of gz, like that. We are just converting into some mathematical, right? And equating with respect to some constant variable, putting some variable separable. X is equal to y is equal to z is equal to some constant. Remember or not? Based on that, we got some auxiliary equations. Thereafter, we write the exact or approximate solution of that differential equation. Remember, na?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what is happening? You can see. So that difference up to the second order differential equation, we don't have any problem. But when complex problem arises, complex problem means, suppose if you like to analyze a bridge, if you like to analyze a complex antenna structure, suppose your antenna guy, just I'm choosing antenna structure also. If you like to analyze any building structure, any road, anything, okay. So when you are applying, suppose we have some curved surfaces like sphere. So once we write a differential equation for the sphere, okay, so we cannot exactly cover the entire circular faces, right? Once we would like to cover, because either we can just whatever partial differential equation we have, so obviously we have to truncate some portions. Okay, so that truncation will give the error. Okay, so that error will also encountered. So error will also encounter in numerical technique. Okay, there will be no issue. But complex, basically, sphere is a very simple problem. Okay, but when you are moving the complex structure like bridge, so bridge having variety of structure in a single structure. Okay, combination of variety of structure in single structure, and we are applying second order differential equation, no issue. But further analysis, we need the higher order differential equations. When you are using the higher order differential equations, so there will be a mathematical problem. Because of that, we have to move to the numerical techniques. Okay, and very famous numerical techniques we have already studied in a course, the Newton-Raphson method, in your undergraduate course. Remember? I think we never read the FEM, FDTD or whatever, but everyone read the Newton-Raphson method, right? जिसका एक very basic and very famous example is find out the square root of the quadratic equation using Newton-Raphson method. You can find out this square root of any quadratic equation using the analytical method. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? But I can also okay, no issue. Okay, so once quadratic equation is given to you, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, then analytically we can find the square root of this equations minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, right? Everyone is knowing this formula, correct?
Yes.
Right? Now, once we applied the Newton-Raphson method, very basic one, numerical techniques. So we have to find out this one. So we are writing a code, right? We're writing a code in any language, maybe Fortran, maybe C, right now C++ or whatever language, in MATLAB also. So we have to initialize, so we are initializing the square root. Computers, we are giving some initialization. Suppose x1 is the initial root. Then the computer will automatically update one by one, x1, x2, x3. And after some times, when you are close to the results, because in answer which is given to you, square root up to the precision of decimal 3 place, a double precision, it's up to you. Okay, so based on that double precision or whatever precisions we have to define in the program. Okay, now so once we got the results, suppose any equation having a square root of 3.33, suppose 3.3321, so up to decimal 5 places. So once you got, so maybe someone can ask up to the decimal 3rd place. The rest of the things we have to truncate. Okay, so once you will see your results will appear same results up to decimal 3 place, means 3.331, 3.331, 3.331. Then you can say it is my correct answer. Means you are repeating your iterations for 2-3 times, and once you have got the same answers, you are saying it's my I have the correct answer, right? It is okay. And what is happening in the FEM? Okay, any idea about what is happening in the FEM? Finite element method. What is happening? Yes, Abhay Kumar.
So we are analyzing the structure by analyzing the smaller structures and then combining them together.
Yeah. Okay. That means we are discretizing the any complex structure or any simple structure, doesn't matter, any structure which is given to you. Suppose we have the sphere. Yeah, you just consider any ring, a sphere, whatever. Okay, sphere. Once you are choosing a square or rectangle, it is very simple structures, because we can, once you describe, so we can cover the entire surface. Okay, we can never move and never left anything. But once you are considering the any sphere, spherical surface, so when you are describing the spherical surface, okay, so may draw nahi kar sakta. Okay, I'm just using my different screen. I'm sharing my another screen. Just hold on, please. Okay, so it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, suppose so I'm just drawing one structures. You can see one ring. Okay, and we can describe. Okay, I'm just doing manually. You can see what is happening. So there are number of triangles and one, either you can say any random structures, maybe any square or rectangle or rhombus kind of thing, right? This is first discussion what I did, which I did manually, right? Same thing can be done by the software itself. Okay, so for the understanding, so you can see, you can see when I'm describing these structures, this particular area, it is left over, right? Right? During the discussion, we are not able to cover these areas. So once you are doing these methods, so what will happen? This will gives the error, right? It will gives the error. It is correct. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then again, this is a very big area, so we can also make smaller sections also, so that we can cover this one. Once I'm just doing. Okay. Makes not getting pen over here. Now make the small sections. Okay, so this way we are able to reduce the error, right? You can see. So in this next discussion method, what we are doing? We are just reducing the cell size or mesh size, right? So that we can reduce the error. Okay, so same thing. So basically this structure, whatever you are seeing in this 2D form, so this is basically the tetrahedron. Okay, so FEM forms tetrahedron in our structure. Okay, means the 3D form. Okay, and now there will be a basically global matrix and one is the local matrix. Okay, so basically what is happening? Your maybe field distribution, maybe potential or anything else. So we have to calculate each and every point. This point, suppose we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. This is outer ring numbering. Inner numbering, you can see 1, 2, 3, like that. So, okay, so we have to find out the basically what would be the global matrix, what is the local matrix. The global and local matrix, we are just creating there is also coupling matrix. Coupling matrix is very important in the FEM. Okay, coupling matrix means suppose this node number 1 is coupled with, you see how many nodes are coupled with this node number 1. So it is independent. Node number 2, it is node number, this is independent, but this particular node is coupled with this particular cell, okay, and this particular cell and this particular cell. Okay, so based on that phenomena, so it will just FEM will take another time, so I'm not going to detail of this ones. Okay, so this is the basic we have to understand. Okay, so for that purpose, you just read the FEM from any book. Okay, so for your understanding, just refer basically Sadyko. Okay, electromagnetic field theory by Sadyko. Okay, so you will learn the FEM and you will understand what is happening behind the software. So that is very important. So remember this thing. Okay, now I am coming to the software part. So everyone having this window, right? Everyone has opened the SFSS window?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in this window, what you are looking over here, you can see this particular portion, there is written project manager. You got this one, this project manager?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bottom another window is a property.
Yes,
Message
sir.
manager and progress. So I think everyone having these windows or not?
Yes, we have.
Now I don't have anything. I don't have any windows, right? So you know where I had. So now see the first bar. This is the menu bar. You can see it's simple. Whatever menu icons we have, it looks like a MS Word or MS Office type kind of thing. Okay. So we have in the menu bar file, edit, view, project, tools, windows, and help. Okay. So these are the menu bars. So in this menu bars, okay. So how many guys you are having? They are knowing the HFSS software?
Myself.
Okay, Abhay Kumar is knowing. और कितने लोग जान रहे हैं? How many guys are knowing? Just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so I can recognize. So, okay. So those who are knowing, the questions for those guys, those who are knowing the HFSS basics. Okay. So in the file menu, what did you use the file menu? Abhay, did you use the menu bar for your HFSS software for design, drawing, anything?
Yes,
For
sir, we
drawing
do.
structure, menu
We
bar
do, sir. We do, sir.
Okay.
We do.
Okay. So in the menu bar, just click the menu bar and you can see the icons. There is a new, open, open examples, close, save, save as. So menu looks like you can see MS Word. Okay, you will never find any difference. Only because only difference you will find were the open examples. Okay, save as technology files, archives, restore archives. Okay, rest of the thing is same. Only import and export, these are the different icons. Okay, so before moving to start work, you just remember the entire menu bar in your tips. Okay, you should know where we will guide which function. Remembering the function in the particular menu icons or particular menu bar. Okay, it is very important. Otherwise, you will search everywhere. So once I say click, draw rectangle. So you should know where is the draw icons, where you should click and draw the rectangles. Okay, so you should know. So these are the icons. Okay, so what is the meaning of new?
We can create a new project.
Create a new project, a new file. Okay, open. As good. Open means existing files. Open examples. Once you click the examples, it will open the examples. Okay, you can see there are a lot of examples. Okay, you can click any one of the examples. Next thing is save and save as and rest of thing. Okay, next this import and export. Once you click the import, so that means these are the available formats from which you can import the file. Okay, in this format. So sometimes you need Gerbers, Excel, and also export options. You can see these are the files. So import and export files are important when you would like to import or export. Accordingly, you can choose. So you have this format, then HFSS can recognize the file. Otherwise, not. Okay.
Sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, in 2015, we don't have import and export in this.
It is there. It is another place. I will let you know. कहाँ पे आएगा? यहाँ पे नहीं आएगा. Another place पे आएगा. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Import and export सब जगह मिलेगा. आपको बताएंगे कहाँ आएगा. Okay. Now in the edit icon, undo सारे edit के जो icons होते हैं, these are same. In view, so now you can see the view status bar, project manager. Once I click the project manager, this window comes. This message manager, message will come. Properties, material properties window will come. Progress window will come. So basically, initially I hide these windows. Now it appears there. Okay. So in project, basically we will create a project and we will find a project tree over here. Okay, we can make n number of trees, no issue. But for the beginners, you can just start one by one in one file, one project, one. Okay, don't make a project tree in the beginning. Okay, when you will become the experts, then you can make the project tree. There will be no harm. Otherwise, you will mess up all those things. Okay, in the properties, you can change the properties values, their dimensions means units over here. Okay, in the message manager, once you are running the HFSS, message will appear. If any error will occur, it will appear over here. And progress, you can see what progress is going on, means progress status is going on, ki kitna ho chuka, how much time is left, how much matrices has been formed, how much passes has been created, how much passes has been done. So you will find the entire progress over here. Okay. So in this progress, anytime you can terminate also. Now this project win icons, it is very important. So you can see, so in the 2015, they have insert HFSS design only, right? And few more icons. So for HFS guide, they have to use this insert HFSS design. Once you will click on this icon, you can see what is happening. Insert, click on this one. Okay, this window appears. Okay, because it is project 1. So this window will come on here. You will see the changes because we insert HFSS design. Now you can see it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I am using this project window, and I know in project window we have the option insert HFSS design. Initially we don't have this one, right? Now there are another options also available with the different version to versions. Okay, so one all integral option is also there. Okay, but it is not. This is a particular bug from on the basically version 3. If you have version 2 of 2019 R2, so that option is there. Integral option is there. Okay, so integral design you can insert. Okay, like FIT. Okay, so you that will solve your integral equations. Okay, it's clear. So you find the entire thing over there. So based on that, and also you can see analyze. Once you make a project over here, okay, you save it, and you once you do analyze, so you can analyze using this analyze all. Okay, all those things, all those icons, all those menus. Okay, here it is also noted over here in this menu icons. Okay, it is there. Now you can see. Again, I come to the initial windows. So you can see here this portion. It is visible. It is visible, na? So you can see this is. First, I have to open new. Okay, new file, the project, and this is insert HFSS design. Before we don't have anything over here. See, I'm just closing this one. Okay, initially we don't have anything. On all the menu icons are hidden. Okay, inactives, except new, open, and open example. Rest of the icons are inactive, right? So make it active. I just click either the here from the new, create a new document, or from file. Okay, both are same. So once we have the new, so we open one project, so they can see this bar, all the icons are active. Okay, except edit one, this one, because we don't have any drawing over here, don't any over here. That's why it is inactive. Okay, once we have something, so you can just insert HFSS design from here. Okay. See this one, insert HF design. So you can identify this one and you can click on it. So everyone having this window, right? So now I am on the project window, insert HFSS design. Okay. So you can see once we have this window, your menu bar has been changed. Did you observe this thing or not?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So menu bar has been changed. Okay. So what are the changes did you observe? Initially, we have file, edit, view, project, tools, window, and help. Right now, we have file, edit, view, project, tools, help, windows. In addition to that, we have draw, modeler, and HFSS. Right? draw, modeler, and HFS. These three menu bars, three menus have been added in the once we open the project window, right? Insert HFS design. It is clear? It is okay to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any doubt up to this
Yes, sir.
level?
No,
Now
sir.
you can see. Okay, so now you can see in this draw icons. Project we have seen, we have to insert. Now project, because we now once we have the projects, and I told you the icons draw. Okay, before one statement I told you, just yesterday, draw any rectangle. So you can see in the draw menus, we have this much menu: line, spline, arc, equation based curve, rectangle, ellipse, circle, rectangle, regular polygon, equation based surfaces, box, cylinder. You have entire things. And your user defined primitives, user defined models, plane, point, line segments, there are many things. Okay. So we have entire thing in the draw icons. So whenever would you like to draw anything, okay, any draw any object, draw any circuit, draw anything, any drawing. So you have to use this menu, or you can go here. It is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are, you can see, this is the draw box. This is draw cylinders. Draw regular polyhedron. You can see draw torus. So many things over here. Okay, you can find integral equation based curve. These are the various curves. Okay, so you will find entire thing over here. So from this draw, so you can use here or here. Okay, so beginners, they can just practice from here. Okay, in the beginning you just practice from here. Okay, don't move over here. Okay, I can hide this menu bar also, menu icons also. Okay, now modelers. This modeler is very important. Now 2015 guy, they can click modeler. Do you have the modeler?
Yes, sir.
Okay, in the modeler, so did you find the import and export option now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you happy, right? So you will find the entire thing. There's few variations because you need, every time they did some additions in the next additions. That's why little bit icons and many things will change. Okay, rest of thing remains same. Okay, analytical method will remain same. Okay, because in the higher versions they are just making our life easier. Okay, in lower versions we have to draw air box. Okay, to define the radiation boundaries, but in higher versions we are creating the radiation box. This is the difference. I will let you know. So here import, export, and other things you can see. Here assign materials. In the modeler you will find entire things. Whatever you would like to do. Okay, so in the modelers option, remember, my terminal is disconnected, so just wait. Just hold on, please. A laptop net is okay. Wi-Fi LAN is disconnected. Wi-Fi is working, so it's working. Then what is happening? Okay. Now visible?
No, sir.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any project do you have, whatever project we have on your screen, okay? Here, this particular screen. So this can, if you would like to measure the dimensions, you can go here. So you can measure the dimensions as a position, age, phase, object, anything. Okay. You can define the units. So before start any project, you have to define the units. Okay. So in it by default it is in millimeter, but you can see that just click on this arrow button. So you will find dimension in centimeters, copper ozone layer, decimeters, foot meters, foot, inches, kilometers, different light years, meters, mile, knot in nautical miles. Okay, millimeters, nanometers, picometers, all those things. So because we are using the small structures, so we will use the millimeters. Okay, that's fine. So unit we are defining initially. So in the beginning, you have to define, choose the unit. But suppose if you guys would like to work on big structures like kilometer range structures or meters range structures, so then you have to select the unit in meter or kilometer accordingly your structure. Okay, because you can see this particular window, the dimension, this grids, this. Okay, you working areas, you can see the grids in. This is the area 0 to 1.5 millimeters. This is a big one. Okay. Okay, but it can make, suppose in the kilometers, so you can see, go to the modelers, change the unit, suppose kilometers. This scale change. So this 0 to 1.5 area means here to 1.5 area about up to here. This is 1.5 kilometers and rest of the area is another 1.5 kilometers. Okay, this is a division. Okay, are you getting this one? So in the modelers, we have import. So you can import the files. You can import from anywhere from your computers. So these are the formats available with you. Okay, so suppose if you would like to import your file from CST, import your file from any CAD files or any DXF files, you can use this format, any one of the formats. You can see these are the formats available. AutoCAD, DXF, these are the formats. If you have any format, then you can export over here or say import over here. Okay. Next, export. We have to save basically this format. We should like to make Gerber file or anything files, you can make accordingly. Okay. So step files, if you need step files, many times STF, because another softwares they can recognize these are the formats. DXF file, so you can make the DXF file for making your structure for printed purpose. Okay, so you have to send your DXF file to anyone and they can see in the DXF formats and they can print for you. Similarly, anything you can import from clipboards, history tree layout, so you can see entire things. So these are the grid planes. So you just make the grid plane. So X right now it is grid on the XY plane. You can make YZ plane also. So you are just changing the planes. Okay. So we can change plane over here also. This window, we can see this window. It is visible. My mouse cursor is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here we have the planes, XZ planes. You can see grid window change. Okay. So which plane would you like to draw your structure? Accordingly, we have to select the plane. So by default, you will find in XY plane. Okay. But as per a requirement, you just change the plane. Again, go to the modelers. Okay. Group. So once you have the object, many objects, you can make a group. So group, ungroup, these are the things. Okay. Coordinate systems, you can make working coordinate systems. The working coordinate, create some local coordinate system also. Okay. So these are things you can move, and accordingly you can move your coordinate system anywhere. Okay. And the list programs, you can create any list of the program, object list or face list, whatever. Okay. Then edges means whatever structure edges you will find. So you can accordingly detach or create some object edges or move the edges, whatever. Okay, it's up to you. So you can do anything, any observation you can perform. Surface. From the surface means structure surface. So in the structure surface, there is a sections we have to connect. Right now we don't have any surface. Once you select the surface, then we can perform these options. Okay. Boolean. If you remember the Boolean function in the digital, okay, the same function you can unite. So if you have one or two objects, you can unite them. You can subtract, you can intersect, you can split. So these are the Boolean functions. Okay, so this Boolean function is also available here, this window. It is right now inactive. These are the Boolean function. You can see this mouse icon. This is move. Here you can see this window. Now unite. Okay, this is subtract. This is intersect. Okay, this is imprint. Means accordingly as per requirement you can use this shortcut icon, but if you are not too much familiar, so use the Boolean. Otherwise, once you have the icons, you can right click. I will demonstrate in different way also. Okay. Now the next icon is HFSS. This is very important because we are working on the HFSS. So here we have to define basically solution type. See, so there are various solution types are available. Now 2015 guy, how many solution type do you have right now in 2015?
5.
5. Can you name them?
Network analysis, transient, terminal.
Okay.
Composite model.
And what are the different in this particular window?
SRR.
SBR.
SBR plus.
Yes.
Characteristic mode.
Yes.
Composite excitation.
Okay. So model you are knowing the model analysis, right? Remember the model analysis? So once we have modes, so normally we are generating the modes, so you are using the model analysis. So by default you are choosing the model. Okay. Also you can use the terminal. In terminals we are getting the terminal voltages and terminal currents. Okay. So whatever parameters we are looking in S11. So here we will see S11 terminal S11, right? And terminal S parameters. Transient mode is there, icon mode is there, characteristic mode is there. These are existing. This is the new SBR plus. So do you have any idea about the SBR plus?
So
SBR stands for
shooting and bouncing rate algorithm.
Shooting and bouncing rate. Okay, so this is shooting and bouncing rate techniques. It is used for rapid computation of electromagnetic solutions. Okay, so we have some problems, basically big structures, complex structures like aircraft, ships. Okay, so sometimes we will use the shooting and bouncing rate plus. Okay, but it will help or to get the rapid solution. Okay, you can get the EBG very fast. Okay, we can see the computation of electromagnetic solution very rapidly. Okay, and also driving option is there. So by default we are using the model analysis. So model is okay. So you can choose terminal also, no issue. Okay, depends on the problem, we have to select it. Now again you can see list. So once you click the list, so we will see entire elements used in your HFSS structure. Okay, so in the first model you will find anything like circuit elements. What are circuit element boundaries? You will find entire thing. You can see one by one what is there. We will see later. Now validation checks. Once you will make any geometry, any structures, so before running, before simulating it, we have to check, okay, everything is correct or not. So this is called validation check. So once you click this options validation check, like I click, you can see, I click on these icons, so there is an error. What kind of error comes in the error message, the message manager? You can see there are no object in the design. So we don't have any design. That's why we got this error, right? It's the validation check. So it is written 3D mod design settings. Design setting is okay. Means operation is okay. But everything is, this project tree is okay. You can see, click this one. First click on this one. Okay. So you can see in the design tree, we have entire thing, it is setted. Okay. But we don't have the 3D structure, 3D components. This is empty. So that's why error is there. Okay. So error is there. Then boundary and excitation. Once we don't have the structures, we cannot excite the structures. That's why there's another error, and that's why the boundary error also. Then analysis setup. If the analysis setup we don't have the structures, we cannot put the frequency range and other things. Analysis setup. We have to fix the setup. Okay. So that's why these 3 errors we have over here. Okay. I close this window and again come over here. Right click over here on this window. Just wait. Right click. You just right click on the message manager anywhere and clear message for HFSS design 1, because this is design 1. It is okay. So I cleared my entire message window. Okay. It is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And this analyze, once we set all the things, validation check, we can analyze all. Okay. So sometimes depends on our structures. In the beginning, once you have the starting structures, we will analyze entire thing. Okay. In between, sometimes we are changing our frequency setup or something else. So we will analyze particular sections. We don't analyze all. Okay. We can see this one also. You can make any notes. Toolkit. So toolkit will give the just ready-made solutions. Okay. So with the help of this toolkit, you can import something and you can do anything. Okay. So in the toolkits, the lower versions, there is no toolkit, but higher version there is a toolkit. Okay. This 3D modeler editors, so you can edit in your modelers. Okay. So modelers, we have this modeler over here. Okay. The editor is here. Okay. So sometimes if you like to temperature kind of thing, you can set the object temperature also. Design setting you can change. And now the important thing for over here, like model. Okay, in the HFSS, once you would like to make an array. Okay, so go to this HFSS and models, create array. Okay, so once you have one structures, you can make an array of these structures. Okay. Also, I told you these are the new options: create open region and update open region paddings. Okay, these are the new thing, which is not available in 2015. Okay, so instead of making the airbox, you can just make the create open region. Okay, boundaries, we have to assign the boundaries. So assign the boundaries. So these are the boundary, assigning boundary. You can see this is based on this. Okay, anisotropic impedance boundary, aperture boundary, finite conductor boundary, half space boundary, impedance boundary, layered impedance. So these are the boundaries. Okay, so normally in the HFSS, what structure you are considering, maybe small one, so you are using perfect E or perfect H. If you are defining this with the conducting layer, okay, so you are defining sometimes perfect E, right? So it's up to you. Sometimes slave, master slave boundary also defining. Okay, so this master slave boundary we are defining in metamaterial structures. Okay, once you are working on the metamaterial structures, so we have to define the master slave boundary. Okay, radiation boundary. For the free space boundary, we are defining with the radiation. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Also, can you just be a bit slow? I'm noting it down, the different boundary conditions, sir. Just a bit slow, sir.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so in the boundaries, so these are boundary means boundary conditions. We are fixing it. So we are assigning boundary as per our requirement. Like in the beginning, so most of the time you are defining the conductor with the perfect E, right? Am I correct? Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And once this is perfect E, and also once you are, suppose rectangular patch we have, so you are defining ground plane and top patch as a perfect E, and we are defining material. Okay, defining material for the substrate. Okay, for boundaries from this one. So and also another boundary, radiation boundary. So air box we are defining with the radiation boundary. Remember? So that will, what does mean radiation boundary means? This will indicate the far field zone basically. Okay, so what does it mean by the radiation boundary? What it will indicate? Radiation, once you are defining the radiation boundary, that means there will be no reflection from this boundary. Okay. Okay, there will be no absorption, there will be no reflection, right? It is clear? We have to radiate from this one, radiation boundary, and we are just assuming this is all the cases as per the structure. This is lambda by 4, and once you are calculating with the help of far field zones, it will comes to this range basically, lambda by 4 and greater than lambda by 4 anything. And master slave boundary, this master and slave boundary used for metamaterial structures. Once we are defining the metamaterial structures, so we are using the master slave boundaries. Okay. So as per requirement, you can decide this different boundary conditions. Okay. Next thing is here, excitation. Once you define the materials and boundaries, so excitation is very important. We have to assign. So normally we are assigning to the port. Basically the excitation means this is our electromagnetic source. Okay. Once you are saying excitation means electromagnetic source. Once we have any wire or patch antenna, it doesn't mean. We have to give some excitation. So excitation in terms of, you can see there are various types of excitations. Circuit port is there. If you have the circuit, okay, you have RLC circuit, so we can define circuit port. If you have frequent port, so frequent port use in where? Any idea frequent port means? Where we can use the frequent port?
So for absorbers, metamaterial type structures.
That is fine. My question is different.
Okay. Okay.
When we are using the frequent port. Obviously, we are using in the metamaterial structures. But why we are using there? My question is related to this one. Why we are using? Why we use frequent port with the metamaterial absorber? Why didn't use lumped port or wave port? Any guess?
No, sir.
Guess करो भाई. थोड़ा सा अपने ब्रेन सेल्स को ओपन करो एंड थिंक अबाउट इट. क्या कर रहे हैं आप उसमें? Suppose we have the absorber. Suppose मैं बता रहा हूँ just concentrate over there. What we have the absorber, right? Any metamaterial structures. उसमें हमने फ्लोक्वेंट पोर्ट लगाया, तो क्या किया हमने? फ्लोक्वेंट पोर्ट लगा क्या किया? क्या हो रहा है?
Can you repeat in English?
My question is that what is happening when we are connecting Flequet port to the any metamaterial structure or any absorbing structure? We never connect Flequet port to the patch antennas or any antenna surfaces. We never connect any Flequet port to any antenna, right? But we are connecting the Flequet port to absorber metamaterial structures. What is happening? Why?
So since the absorbers are repeating structures, as well as we assume that it is infinitely infinitely large structures. For
what
that
about
particular...
array? What about array? Array having very large bigger structures, but we
right,
have the excitation there.
Right, sir.
So obviously there would be some difference between the antennas and this absorber kind of a metamaterial structure.
Or we need to
either
just
you can say frequency selective surfaces, metamaterial, absorber, whatever. So why? Always raise the questions why. Without why, you cannot get the answer. Otherwise, you learn somewhere else that we are using, you have the metamaterials and we have to use Flequent port and define the master slave boundary, nothing else.
So to assign the direction of the electric and the magnetic field.
Why?
Because there we need to see that how the overall structure is behaving with that particular direction. Is it so?
No, my question is entirely different. What is happening at the input port means Flequent port. What is happening? I'm always saying no. What is happening behind the software? We just see. Okay, forget about the software. Okay, now just all the guys just concentrate on the experimental kind of thing. Okay, I'm just closing this window for time being and just opening another window. It is okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm sharing. Okay. Now you can see. Any structures we have, right?
Sir, your screen is not visible, sir.
Oh, my screen is not visible?
No, sir.
Wait. It is coming. Visible or not?
No, sir, still not visible.
Okay, so again I am just connecting my team, then it will be okay.
En this
Excuse me, anyone? Session is going on now. I'm not able to hear anything.
Yes, Dr. Manisha.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I've contacted sir. Sir got some glitches in his network,
yeah,
so
basically
he'll be joining soon. Yes.
Basically, my I just disconnected my laptop. Okay, for sharing the screen, so there is a problem. So I'm just connecting using WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is not supporting the campus right now. Okay, so I just forwarded the mail, then I opened from the mail. Okay, that's why it takes time. Okay, now screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
So everyone is getting this screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you just think about this. This one is structures, any structures, and there is some source. Maybe this is the liquid port. Okay. Okay, this one port, maybe some antenna. Okay, this is one antenna. Okay, so electromagnetic waves are coming over here. Okay, so what is happening right now? Just see this experimental setup. Lab में आप ऐसे ही करते होंगे. You just think there will be some screen, and this side we have the antennas. Okay. Can you think about this one? So same thing, same arrangement we are making in the HFSS. We have this absorbing boundaries, absorbing materials, metamaterials, FSS, or any kind of absorber we can say. And this is the incident waves coming over here, right? Okay, this is the part plane wave. Okay, are getting the answer? Why you are selecting this particular things?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So part plane wave. The incident wave would be the plane wave. Okay. So we are making such a distance jahan se spherical wave front will convert into the plane wave. Okay. Initially at the horn antennas or any antenna, we have the spherical wave front that can be converted into the up to certain distance in the plane wave, right? So with the help of this plug-in ports, we are converting to the plane wave so that your entire structures can be illuminated with this. Right? It is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If it is this structure is an absorber, suppose. If this structure is a absorber, then what will happen?
It will going to absorb a specific range of frequencies.
Yeah, so it will absorb the particular signals, okay, frequency signals, right? And nothing will get back. So how we can detect it? How it can be detected?
On the other side, we need to use the another Flocan port.
So you need another side or same side?
So another side.
Okay, that means.
Or on the same side also, we can also see with some particular angle whether it is reflecting or not.
Okay, so basically in the experimental side, there are two methods. One is known as the monostatic method. Another one is the bistatic. Okay, in monostatic, you will use the single antenna. Okay, single antenna for transmission, simultaneously for reception. Okay, in bistatic methods, we will use two antennas. Okay, right? This is number 1 and number 2. So one antenna is transmitted, so another antenna will use for the receiver. It is clear? In bistatic methods, two antenna method will use. There will be one transmitter, another will be the reception. For single antenna method means monostatic methods, we will transmit and we will receive. Okay. Now, the important thing when you are using this bistatic methods, the mutual coupling of these two antenna guys are very important. So you should take care of this thing. Okay, how much is the separation between these two antenna guys from center to center? Okay, it is very important. Now I'm coming to there. Screen is visible? My another screen is visible or not?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Switching from one screen to another sometimes create a problem. Still not visible? Oh.
Not visible, sir.
Now it's visible. Now visible, right?
No, sir.
Not
No,
yet.
No, sir.
Just wait a couple of minutes, maybe, yeah, a couple of seconds.
Visible now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So I am coming to the HFSS and excitation ports. Okay. So we have to assign different port as per requirements. So sometimes we can use lump port, wave port, terminal port. Terminal will appears when you are using the terminal method. Okay. So in model analysis, we have different ports and there are different ports. Okay. Sometimes we can define the incident wave also. Okay. Voltage and current sources we can define. Magnetic bias, where we need the magnetic bias. Okay. Suppose we have the magnetic materials, and that's magnetic materials needs magnetic bias. Suppose we are using the ferrite. So ferrite needs magnetic bias. So we will use this magnetic bias. Okay. So accordingly, you can use this excitation port. It's clear? And there are some auto assigned terminals. So okay, so you know, don't use these guys. Okay. Use this assign and this one. For your applications, it will not be useful. Okay. Then hybrid, in old versions we don't have the hybrid, and assign hybrid means hybrid models you can define. Okay, in the recent version we have, I told you initially HFSS used the FEM. Right now hybrid method can be used. Okay, IE region, you can say IE region means integral equation. Okay, so integral equation you can use FEBI. Okay, so SBR bouncing, there are many things. Okay, you can assign accordingly. Okay, the next important, very important thing is the SFS is the mesh. Okay, so what you guys are doing normally, you are not playing anything the mesh. Is anyone playing with the mesh of the structure?
So we used to do in FECO software, but here we don't use.
Okay, I am talking about here. So by default, whatever mesh considered by the software, you are very much happy with that one, right? Am I correct? Then why this icon has been added over here? Once you are not playing with these guys, you see, assign mesh operation, reassign, initial mesh settings. view mesh feedback. So once, because FEM works on the tetrahedral meshes, and if you are not playing with these mesh operations, so how can you assure your results are reliable? How can you check the reliability of your results? Whatever results is coming, you are saying, okay, my result is come. But you can think sometime, once maybe you have some experience, one day you simulated any HFSS design on your laptop or desktop, next day or after 6 months, you simulated same design on some other laptop or desktop, and you find the result has been changed. Did you observe this thing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So is it the correct way? Means,
no, sir.
What is happening? We have simulated today some results. After 10 months, we simulated result has been changed. A result will change. So this is not the correct way. We cannot rely on that results. If you will change the machine to machine, a result will change. So no one rely on your results also. So reliability is very important. We have to fix. Okay, so we have to fix boundary condition, we have to fix mesh operation, we have to fix each and every component. Means when you are simulating the same structures, so your entire conditions remain same. Means other condition remain same, means your mesh operation should remain same. Because depends on your RAM of the computer, RAM of the system, a processor of the system, that will calculate the mesh size accordingly. Suppose your system will support higher mesh size or not. If your RAM will not support, okay, so if the system will calculate approximate meshes and it will result. Now it is clear. So you have to play with this guys. Mesh. So initially, no need to play. Initially, whatever structure we have, we simulate it and we see the mesh first. What kind of meshes has been formed, and based on that, we will see this one. Based on that, we can analyze our result is correct or not, our result is reliable or not. We can learn this thing also. Okay. And analysis setup. So analysis setup means in laboratory, what we are doing. Once we have any horn antenna, patch antenna we have. So what we are doing in the laboratory? Simply putting antenna anywhere at your rooftop or somewhere else. Can you get some radiation? No. That means we have to connect electromagnetic source with the antennas. We have already connected the excitation part, right? Then once we connect the excitation source, we have to select the frequency ranges, right? So we have to select the solution, make the solution setup accordingly, and we have to define, right? From which frequency to which frequency we are looking for, which kind of solution setup we are looking for, right? Then we can start the measurement. The same thing over here. Next thing, optometric analysis. It is very important for optimization purpose. Okay, in optometric analysis, we can add parameters. Okay, parameters from the files, and at optimization, so we can do sensitive analysis, parametric analysis, and all things. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Screen is visible?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, because I got some messages like that. Now visible or not?
No, sir.
Still not visible?
No, sir.
So, okay, we can continue. The HFSS is opening on your desktop, right? So,
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can see your screen. Then optometric analysis. It is in your screen. It is on your screen, right? So you can perform any analysis, parametric analysis, optimization, sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity analysis means we are just, it is a function of we say function means any function which can be differentiated with respect to any dimensions or any parameters. Like suppose if you like to do the sensitivity analysis for your permittivity, okay, with respect to how your dimensions are affected with respect to permittivity. Okay, so dw means width with respect to d epsilon r, d length divided by d epsilon r. The length and width how affected by the epsilon can be checked. Okay, also any parameters how length and width can be affected by the height of the substrate. So this can be done with the help of the sensitivity analysis. So this setup has been incorporated over there in the older versions. I think 2015 this is there, sensitivity analysis is there, because 2010 onward sensitivity analysis has been added. So it is there 2015 guys. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
are.
And the screen is visible now?
No, sir.
Wait, in couple of seconds it will connect. Yes, it's visible, right?
Yes, sir. Now visible.
Yes, sir. It is visible now.
So next, so it is available in all the versions. This optometric analysis is available in all the versions, right? There will be no issue. The next icon, you can see the fields. It is very important again for calculations. Okay, and also for your maybe how many guys are working on the MIMO antennas? How many % they are working on MIMO antennas? Is anyone working on MIMO?
Yes, sir.
Yes, only Pankaj. Okay, lovely professional in LPU. Pankaj from LPU. Okay.
Yes.
So in MIMO antenna, are you using number of sources, excitation sources, port 1, port 2, port 3, port 4 like that? Yes, Pankaj?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did you fix the sources to each element? Like I'm clicking on the edit source. Okay, here. So not basically we don't have right now ports. So here basically you the magnitude means 1 watt, 1 watt, 1 watt to each element. Have you use this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes mesh termination also. Did you use the mesh termination? Because in the MIMO analysis, at a time one port is excited, radiation properties, when you would like to radiation properties or any other MIMO characteristics would like diversity parameters would like to calculate. So at a time one port is excited, rest of the port are mesh terminated. And experimentally we are doing same thing because for analysis purpose. But practically all the ports are excited at the same times. Okay, but analysis purpose, we cannot excite all the ports and we cannot excite a signal from all the ports at a time. So at a time, one port is excited and all rest of the ports are at mesh terminations. So what does it mean? Mesh termination means what? What does it mean?
So no reflection would be coming from there.
No reflection coming from that. That is okay. What we are doing, I mean practically what we are doing, mesh termination means what? How we are terminating this particular port. We have the SMA connectors. So in one SMA connector, we have the microwave source. All other ports, what we are connecting and saying
load, sir.
it is mesh load of 50 ohm, right?
Yes.
That is called mesh termination. Okay, practically we are connecting mesh termination. Then how we will connect mesh termination to simulation software in the SFSS? How it can be done? Because in all the port we have the source 1 watt, 1 watt, 1 watt, right? You can change 2 watt, 2 watt or 100 watt, no issue. It's up to you. But how we can convert this source into the mesh termination?
So we can give apply one as the signal on one port and other as 0 watt.
Exactly. So all other port we have to change the values. Going there, fields, edit source, and here we will change the value with the 0. One port, yep, all that with 1. Rest of the ports will 0. Okay. This is very important. Now. And also there are SAR setting. If you would like to perform any of the things, you can do things. And field you can also plot, animate the things. Once we have the things, we can animate how field is moving. Okay, so these are the parameters available with you. You can perform radiation. Okay, in radiations, we have to insert far field setup, near field setup, antenna array setup, various setups. So normally we are inserting the far field setups so that we can get the radiation pattern. Right? Once you see infinite sphere. So right now we don't have anything. So first we have to define the radiation boundary, then we can do it. Okay, otherwise not. Results you can see in various formats. So first we can create the report from file. You can delete the entire report. The report template you can set it. Data set solutions you can see. And although there are this cleanup solutions, so most of the time what is happening, once you have simulated your entire analysis setup, yeah, basically your results as stored as a cache file. Okay, so sometimes you delete and you are editing, you have edited, but you are getting same results. So it is because it is because your cache has been stored in your systems. So we have to delete, clean up entire solutions. Okay. So once you click the entire solutions, so your entire result will gone. Means your failed calculation will gone. Then you can start running. Then you will get the fresh solutions. Okay, this is important. And so tools, you will never use tools. Okay, and basically help Windows. We can see which Windows are working, and help. If you need any kind of help, you can go here and HFSS topics are there. Okay, and HFSS PDFs are there. Accordingly, you can solve your problem. Okay. So now we can start, or you need some break.
So there is one question.
Yeah, please.
Regarding solution frequency.
Solution frequency, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, please.
What should be the values, sir? What should be the values of solution frequency?
What should be the values for what?
It is the middle of the. It is the middle of the maximum and minimum frequency.
Depends on your requirements. Suppose we have the ultra wideband antennas. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So solution frequency is directly related with the wavelength. Okay. And wavelength is related with the mesh size. Okay. It is clear? So suppose we have narrow band antenna, suppose patch antenna with a narrow band. So if you would like to design for 2 to 3 gigahertz, for 2 to 3 gigahertz, you can choose the center frequency, solution frequency, that is fine. Otherwise, if you will select higher frequency as a solution frequency, if you will select higher frequency as solution frequency, your lambda will become the smaller. Once your lambda will become the smaller, your mesh size will be very fine. Okay. Higher the lambda, your finer the meshes. Okay. If you will select center frequency, your lambda will little bit bigger, and that's why your mesh size will be bigger. Then you have to play with the mesh size. If you will select lower frequency, your lambda is higher, and your higher, because of that your mesh size will be higher. Okay, so you will get the error over there, because that error is called truncation error. Means you cannot cover the entire geometry. You will see later on how it will play. Okay, so center frequency depends on your performance. It is ultra wideband or what frequency is a very, very wide band. So you always choose. So my recommendation is always choose higher frequency as a solution frequency, because it will not affect your results. It will give the accuracy, because it will deals with your mesh size, right?
The highest frequency. Higher frequency means higher resonating frequency.
I'm not talking resonant frequency. How can you define the resonant frequency?
Okay.
How can you define the resonance in the antenna?
So higher frequency means that is the maximum means.
Maximum in the band. Maximum in the
Okay.
band. Maximum
Okay.
operating frequency in the band.
Okay, okay.
How can you define the resonance?
That defined by minus 10 dB.
Resonance. Maybe you learned yesterday lectures. Professor Gautam has teach you already in the microstrip. Another guy also teach you. थोड़ा try करो. Simple circuit लेके पढ़ा करो. You just choose any circuit and how can you define the resonance? Resonance means what?
The frequency at which the maximum power is absorbed by the resonators or by any circuit. That means the minimum reflection would be there.
Minimum reflection would be there, right? So in antenna case, minimum reflection means maximum radiation, right? This perfect matching, right?
Reactance 0.
Reactance 0, exactly.
And it has only real value.
Has real values, right? सही बोल रहा है, correct. So resonance can be defined. Yes, please.
While the S11 is below minus 10 dB. This is how we look at calculating the bandwidth of the antenna.
Suppose we have S11 bandwidth. Okay, minus 10 dB bandwidth is 2 to 4 gigahertz. Okay, just select this example 2 to 4 gigahertz. We have the S11 minus 10 dB bandwidth. So how can you determine the resonance frequency of this band 2 to 4 gigahertz band? Where we can say our antenna is resonating. It will wideband. Obviously, it is a multi-resonating structure. We will get the multi-resonance, right? But how we will get the resonance? How we will determine the resonance? So obviously, we have to see the reactive components. Or reactive components where meet the zeros, close to 0, right? Where your reactive component meets the 0, then it has the resonance. Clear? Are you getting my point or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This way we can define. Okay. We cannot say minus 10 dB bandwidth is the resonance bandwidth. Okay. Resonance occurs at certain points. Okay. Anything else do you need to learn in the software right now? Then we will see the one demonstration.
Sir, I have one.
Yes, please.
Sir, in HFSS, we have the solution type. Can you tell me, sir, if we have a human structure, if we want to simulate the human structure, which type of solution type we can prefer?
Human structure means?
Just like if we want to have the see the SIR of any antennas, like any mobile antennas.
Okay. That time we will use the FEBI boundaries. You have to use the FEBI boundaries. If you use other boundaries, it will take lot of memories and lot of time. The FEBI boundaries will reduce your time as well as the space. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. When it will find the complex structure, even suppose you have reflector antennas, you use the FEBI boundary. FEBI boundary along with the IE regions. Okay, the two things. So you just make the hybrid solution region. Okay. FEBI along with the IE depends, and also you can use discretization and different sections can be assigned different solution region. Okay. When you are combining all, you will get a single. Okay. It is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So everyone having the Balani book?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Balani having everyone? Balani किसके पास है? CA Balani.
Yes, sir.
Okay, everyone having. So just means, do you have the soft copies or hard copy right now?
Both, sir.
Both. Okay. Sir. So open the chapter 14.
Microstrip antenna.
Microstrip antenna.
Yes, sir.
Patch antenna. And example 14.1 and 14.2.
Okay, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I'm sorry for interrupting the session. Actually, according to our schedule, we have a break of, yes, sir,
1 hour.
from 11
right?
to 12. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Now it's up to the participant. They need a break or they would like to continue. Participants क्या चाहते हैं?
Sir, need a break because sir, laptop or phone both are discharging.
Okay. So you just connect. Okay, connect the laptop and phone with the charger. And simultaneously just go through these examples 14.1 and 14.2. Okay. Okay. So just go through the example 14.1 and 14.2. So 14.1, just go through everyone, right? Because I will use this example for today's demonstrations. Okay. It is okay to everyone. So what time we will meet? What time we will meet? 12 o'clock or little bit early?
Sir, make it 11:30.
11:30? I don't have any issues.
Hello.
So yes, Dr. Manisha.
Yes, yes, sir.
Sir,
According to the schedule, it was it was scheduled. It was planned to be scheduled from 12 onwards.
Okay.
So, sir, totally upon you, sir. What you like, according to your convenience.
It's up to the participants.
Okay.
So if they need me 11:30, I will be here 11:30. Otherwise, 12 o'clock is okay. No issue. So, participant, what you are saying? 12 o'clock or 11:30?
11:30, sir.
11:30. All are
11:30, sir.
11:30. Okay.
Sir,
So,
11:30.
so I will be here by 11:30. Okay.
So all the participants, there is a break of 30 minutes and must join at exactly at 11:30.
I think Dr. Manisha, you can announce this timing on the WhatsApp also. If any new guys would like to join, they can join by 11:30. So you can put down the real time hands-on session will start by 11:30. And example 14.1 of Balanis will be considered for this demonstration.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. We will make.
So I can share you
sure.
here the examples so that yeah, this example. Okay, we put this snapshot on the group also so that everyone can having this example on their own system or laptop or
So all the participants, you can take a break of 30 minutes and we will be meeting at 11:30 exactly.
Manisha, close the recording as well.
Okay, sir.
Who has started the recording? Close it.
Sir, okay, sir.